Hello, dzień dobry. Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
I see you are bunch of people. I piękną grupą ludzi. A ja jestem Dawid i będziemy dzisiaj z wami podróżować po świecie. Do pewnego miejsca zawitamy ze specjalnym gościem. A to, co powiem na razie tylko po polsku, bo później już będziemy gadać dwujęzykowo, to, że jesteście dzisiaj tutaj w ramach spotkania, które jest realizowane w ramach projektu Szkoła dla wszystkich, od tolerancji do integracji, który jest finansowany ze środków Ministerstwa Edukacji i Nauki w ramach programu Społeczna, odpowiedzialność, Nauki 2. Ok? Czyli jak się czujecie? How do you feel? Amazing. No to trzeba się czuć amazing i ma być slay, ok? Ja myślę, że patrzę, jak ktoś nie będzie się czuł ok, to będziemy ratować, ok? Taka jest nasza rola. Moja rola będzie taka, że będę wprowadzał was w świat prezentacji, czyli będę wam też tłumaczył, chociaż ja sądzę, że wy wszystko i tak rozumiecie po angielsku, to co będzie mówiła do was gościni specjalna. No i będę rozmawiał sobie potem z gościnią, a potem będziemy też mieli przestrzeń dla was na pytania. Ok? Dajmy sobie jakiś sign language tutaj. Czy jest ok? Jest ok? Pani się śmieje, to jest ok. So I'm gonna introduce to you the special guest, who is Everlyn. We call her Eve, and she is from?
Kenya.
And how to say hi?
You say jambo, or if you want to say informal, sasa.
So you can say Jumbo. 3, 2, 1. Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Jamboreiro.
My name is Everlyn. I'm from Kenya, of course, and I am a student here in UMCS. I am studying Masters in International Relations in my second year, and I came to Poland 2 years. This is the second year, so I came to Poland in 2022, and the journey has been amazing here, and we are going to interact and talk more on maybe why I chose Poland, and we'll get to know each other better. But I am passionate about empowering girls, and I'm passionate about working with the youth because we are, of course, the future. That was me feeding a giraffe in a place called Giraffe Center, and I can recommend, if you love animals, you can go to Kenya to feed giraffes. Kenya in Swahili, and our capital city is known as Nairobi, which means the place of cool waters. So in Nairobi, there is a river called Nairobi River, and this river was used by the Maasai to, because there is a community called Maasai, which they have cattle, so cows, sheep, and before civilization, they used to like herd their cattle, so to take them to eat the grass, and this river was important, so that's why it was called the place of cool waters. As we mentioned earlier, when our friend asked about the number of languages spoken, so we have a total of 68 languages. So you may wonder, why do we have 47 tribes in Kenya, but they are saying they speak 68 languages? This is because, so for the tribes, there is something called sub-tribes. So a tribe could have different dialects. So if people are speaking, like the way I know some of you study languages, and I don't know if anyone studies Spanish. So there is Spanish that is spoken in Spain that is different, and comparing to the one in Mexico. So it's kind of such a thing. So the tribes have sub-tribes. So these sub-tribes are the ones that make the languages more. But the main languages that are the national languages is English and Swahili. So everyone can speak these languages, but of course, if you go to like a village, you can find that the older people do not speak English or Swahili, but they speak just the tribe language. And we have a very, very, very cool culture or a tribe called the Maasai. They are cool because they have preserved their culture up to today. They have not been influenced so much by of course, the westernization or the modern day. And I would like for you to see the picture of this cool guy who is jumping, and we will see a video. But before that, there is something about wealth of these people. They do not measure their wealth with money. They count the cattle, so the sheep, the cows, and the goats. That shows if the more you have, the richer you are. And they have different types of food because they are nomadic, so they move from one area to another, because when they settle in one area, their cows or goats eat the grass and it becomes, of course, dry, so they go to another place for that. So they really depend on meat, blood, and tree bark and fat. I will teach you how to pronounce some Swahili words, and we can all pronounce together. Or if someone wants to volunteer, they can volunteer and do it by themselves. So I am excited. Who is excited? We can try this. So the first word, I will first say it and you could try to repeat. The meaning of this word is hello, and we already say this word. So jambo.
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 Quite easy, right? Yes, so that's how you say hello in Swahili. So the second word is saying friend. And of course, this word has been used in Lion King. So Simba and Rafiki, of course, we all know they were iconic characters. And this is how we say this: Rafiki.
Rafiki.
Rafiki. So you can text your friend today.
Ja chciałam zapytać o pobyt w Lublinie. Jak długo jesteś tutaj i co ci się w Lublinie najbardziej podoba? Chyba, że cię nie podoba, ale mam nadzieję, że coś znajdziesz.
How long do you live in Lublin, and what are your feelings about it?
This is the second year I'm living in Lublin, but I can mention that I was in Poland for the first time in 2017, but I only stayed here for 6 months, so I came here for Erasmus. And that can partly answer that I love Lublin, because I decided to come back and study my master's after the Erasmus exchange program. So for me, Lublin feels so warm because I love the calmness of the city and also the vibrant part of the city. And people are friendly when they warm to you. And Lublin, to me, is a good place to live. So I love it here.
So what you don't like?
I
Here,
wouldn't say
living here.
that it's more of what I don't like, but it's what I need to work on, my Polish.
You're Polish.
My Polish.
Okay.
Yes, but in general, I do not hate the weather. I was talking to David about this. I actually love the winter and the cold because we do not have that in Kenya. And for me, layering of clothes was like, wow, okay, let me wear as many layers because this is new to me. And it's quite interesting because most people actually really are on the other side, who are international students, of like, I miss home because of the weather. But for me now, I think too much heat actually, like in the summer, I'm like already thinking about like a colder weather. So
So it's kind of a challenge for you to
be in the summer now.
So I wanted to ask, have you had many experiences with racism in Poland or not really? Like, is it common or not so?
I'd mentioned that it's not common, but I have had an experience which was really terrible. So I don't want to go into details, but I had an experience which was terrible because it was physical.
Sorry
In
for
Lublin.
that. But
In Lublin, yeah.
okay, thank you for answering my question.
Thank you for asking. But most people here, as I mentioned, are amazing, and that is one problem of one person who is a criminal and would do the same thing to anyone else. So, yes.
So I've got one. So without act of aggressive people, Have you got a lot of moments when you feel under observation, facilitation of people, and they look at you because you looks different and you feel it from people around, like when you're going by bus, when you're going down the street? So do you feel any anxiety because of people's vision?
To be honest, I do not feel anxiety because I do not have a social awkward moment per se. But if people are looking at me, in my mind, I do not think of it of negative because it's not creepy to me because nobody's gonna look at me continuously. So it means that if I'm in the bus and they looked at me, we had eye contact or something. So it's not creepy, but I have had other people share that they have been in buses and nobody sat next to them. But to me, I have not experienced a social anxiety per se.
So if it's common to have polygamy relationships, it means also that men, maybe the same like in Poland, are traktowani, how to say traktowani? Treated and feeling better than women?
You have really touched a topic that I'm passionate about because I really am about women's rights are human rights. And that means that there is a lot of work to be done in terms of equality in Kenya. So our system is patriarchy, so men have more power, they are the ones in governments, but of course there is a quota of like the majority, like every place should have a certain minimum number of maybe representatives, but the men of course are the ones who have the power per se compared to women. So it's something we are all trying to like push for equality, but when you look at years ago actually, and when you compare to most African countries, we are the country that have embraced democracy, and of course we all know that democracy comes with equality and human rights, so we are at a good place but not the best place.
One thing you can learn as a Kenyan person, you can learn Polish people is?
That Polish people are so protective of their country, and this should be every country. Yes, welcome everyone, but be protective of your country.
Okay.
And also proud that they have the sovereignty, or they have the control of their country. That is really something amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you.
make me make some applause for our guest.